before our baby came. But then we went to Turkey first, and that was an exciting experience in Turkey. I was thinking about that as I was going through the questions too, about kind of my legacy and the things that I've done. When we were in Turkey, they didn't have a Baptist church over there, but they had the Protestant chapel. So my husband said he considered having a church in our house, but he thought this would be an opportunity for us to blend and be with other people. So they had a cathedral choir, and there weren't very many black people who went there. You don't see us, so we don't go there. So we started going, and then other people started going. So I saw an invitation to join the cathedral choir. So I went, and I joined the cathedral choir. And a lady said, my little son was sitting by me. He said, hey, Mama, that's a black one up there. Because the choir was into that. And, of course, after I joined, other people joined. And it wasn't long after that where a group wanted to form a gospel choir. Well, I said, yeah, I'm going to join that. And my husband said, that's just a group of drunks. Why do you want to be with them? I said, yeah, but, we don't have a choir. So I joined, and we became a choir. And I think they were partyers. But he came and joined too. So
what was the difference between living in Turkey? What year was this that you were in Turkey?
We were in Turkey from 1977 to 1979.
So was it different living in Turkey as far as race relations than living in the United States even then?
No, I think, like my husband said when he was in Vietnam, when you're overseas, race is not quite so important. It's just us trying to survive among them. And he was saying that he met this guy, and they vowed after they left Vietnam they were going to stay friends. When he got to New York, he never heard from him anymore. So in Turkey, it was a close knit, the chapel group too that gave us. And when we were in Turkey, it was kind of scary. They would bomb the post office. They put bombs under hoods of cars, and where we were in Izmir, there was not a base. Like some of them had bases, but we were right downtown with the civilians. But nobody had been shot there. They would always do the little things to scare you. But while we were there, a man was walking down the street from our house, and he was killed. An American, the first one over there. And so when that happens, the community just comes together. So over there, it was a lot better. We have kept in contact with some of the people that we knew over in Turkey. But I didn't see you walk down the street, and Turkish people will say, Yankee, go home. But I think it's more together when you're overseas, abroad.
So let's talk about you coming to Fairfax County.
Okay. When we came to Fairfax County, September 1979. We weren't happy because we were going to my husband's Air Force, and we were going to Army base. Air Force, you could put your name on the waiting list a month before you go, but in the Army, you can't put your name on the list until you get here. So we had to stay in a hotel, and it was in October, and we got a really bad snow, and our coats were packed up, and I told my husband, look, we got to have our... So we had a hotel, and he had to get all that junk so we could get our coats. But we lived at Fort Belvoir, and on the base, we didn't, there wasn't a lot of racial discrimination. And then I went to work at the CIA. I applied and said I had worked. I was gonna go back to work for the telephone company because I had transferred from Atlanta to Omaha, and Omaha back to Atlanta when he was in Vietnam, and back to Omaha. So one of my friends said, "No, I work at CIA. Why don't you come over there?" Oh, I wish I had stayed. Anyway, so then I went to work. I applied, and I was accepted to work at the CIA, and now by the time I went there, I had gone to Clark College for 2 years. I had worked for a telephone company for 9 years. And then I went there, and they brought me on as a GS4. And I sat right beside and worked with a white lady who had never worked before in her life. and they brought her on as a GS5. And so when I got there, they said, if you want to get ahead here, you got to go to school. And so I still hear that record playing from my mom in my mind saying, get a good education, get a good education. So want to get ahead and I already need to get a good. So I started to work in April, and in September I started school. And most of my classes were paid for by CIA. There were some, like I had to do PE, I had to pay for that myself. And so when I was in my, I think it was like my first class at Nova, I met this young lady, and so I told her I worked